Hello and welcome to my channel. I want you to imagine you're a fly and you're flying about on a summer's day and you go inside and you're in someone's kitchen and you're flying around the kitchen, buzzing around, and suddenly you see a light in front of you and you fly towards it. There's something there for you. You can sense it. You fly into it and the fridge door closes. You are now trapped in darkness in a fridge. What do you do? What can you do? You can pretend you are part of the fridge and you and the fridge are the same, and you can fly wearing the fridge. You could try that. I mean, people do. There are only two ways out of that fridge. And before we go into that, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Richard Beaumont. I've been a human design mentor for 25 years, and I've trained professional analysts through 20 of those years. If you're serious about self-development and you're serious about human design, you should already have subscribed. Okay, what are the two possibilities? The possibility is that something happens, like the floor gives out and the fridge crashes to the ground and the fly gets out. I mean, shocks happen. Shocks happen to really change us, and things can happen. There can be a breaking of the boundaries around us through that. But more often than not, it's going to be someone opening the fridge door and the fly coming out. So why have I used this analogy? We are conditioned. If you look at your human design chart, you'll see there are white areas. Most of you are going to have white centers in there. All of you are going to have some white channels. This is not you. This is what you think you're lacking, and you're getting it fed all the time by those people around you that have colored in what you have white. And what do you do when you're in the fear of being shut in the fridge? What do you do when you're in the fear of all your conditioning? Well, what is it? It is basically a shutdown. We've shut down. Most people have shut down due to the programming in their childhood. You know, you don't do this and don't do that, and you can't do this, and you know, all the different things, and I must do this, and all the different ways that we really live in a fear of trying to get it right. You might even have had, you know, your parents certainly will go, you know, you can't do that anymore. And the teachers, you can't do that anymore. And all the, I mean, the siblings, if you've got any siblings, they can also be trying to test their own power out on you by telling you what to do if you're a younger version of in the family. So there you are. You're out in the big world all alone. You've got the fear of, you know, I mustn't do this and I should do this, and you know, yeah, what did they say and all this? Well, what do? Well, some people will toughen up, and they just, you know, won't deal with it. Won't deal with it in terms of trying to fit in. They'll deal with it by toughening up and saying, I don't care. I don't care. People live their lives very often in a kind of, I don't know, a boredom, and in between something happens, or it's in an agitated state because they're not comfortable in their life. And this is really what human design is about. We don't feel at home in our own lives. And without all the conditioning coming from the parents, I mean, God bless them, and the people around us and our friends, and the feeling of lack we may feel because they have things that we don't have, that we think we should have in us. We've also got the programming from the media, you know, the social media, the news, the internet, all the things that are being fed to us. Well, what I'd like to say to you is, don't believe everything you think, because the mind is taking all that information in, trying to make the life work. And yet underneath there is this feeling of hopelessness that you might as well just carry on carrying on. So that's one way of dealing with it. And that's what happens to most people. But it doesn't work. Look at the world. We have a world of frustrated, unhappy people, you know, in relationships that don't work, in jobs that don't work, in a kind of internal frozenness, if you like. There's been a shutdown. Well, when the fridge door is open, the fly goes out and goes into the sun and begins to come back to life. And I want to say to you that it is not hopeless. You know, I was looking everywhere myself for the truth, for something that I could relate to, that had real meaning to me. And it was, you know, I spent a long time doing that until I found human design. It's not hopeless. If you are active in your deconditioning program, if you know who you are and you know who you're not, and you try the experiment of deconditioning by following what is true for you, then hey, you're in the sun. And yes, it may take a time for the sun's rays to warm you if you've been in the fridge for a long time, but you will begin to see the world in a very, very different way. And your life is going to have much more meaning for you. It's decondition or die. If no one opens the door, then you stay in that fridge until you die and hope that you have a good funeral and someone will put a pretty photograph of you faded with lots of love, dear old Harry, dear old Harriet. I knew them well, they were great people. There is a life to be led. There is your life to be led. You're a unique human being. You're not a damn fly, you're a unique human being. And you have all kinds of gifts in you. You have all kinds of powers in you. You have all kinds of lessons to learn and experiences to have and loves to enjoy and disasters to endure. But let them be your life, your disasters, your love affairs, your experiment at life. Not some pale reflection that you're trying to live up to because of the media or because of the friends or because of what you were told or because of what you think. Human design takes you out of the way you think into something that is reliable, that is non-mental. Non-mental. Knowledge will not help. It will not, well, it'll help, but it won't solve the problem. It won't solve the not self life. The only thing that solves that is action or non-action, depending on what you're working on. It's basically to apply your authority to you, knowing who you really are. We are all unique. There isn't another one of you on the planet. You are a unique experiment in consciousness and being in a particular body at this time. And it's really exciting. And I'm excited about and passionate about helping people get to that point. Because I want some pals to play with. I want some people that are awake and enjoying who they are as well. If you're one of them, well, then subscribe. If you want to know more, if you don't know what to do, there is a free report there. You can download information. You can even get the advanced report, which isn't very much money, really. It's about 120 to 140 pages for some people that will describe who you are in a way that you can recognize, because the truth you will hear. The truth does set you free, but you've got to recognize it. And we're in a bloody fridge. We got to break out. Someone's got to open the door. I hope I've begun to open the door for you with this video. And there'll be another one coming soon. Okay, look after yourselves. Bye for now.